Learn along with me.
Hey guys, my name is Ritu Sachdev. In this tutorial, I'm gonna tell you how you can navigate all the pages of your website just by scrolling a single front page of your website. Well, I'm talking about Scrollspy Bootstrap. Believe me, it's amazing.
Before going into action, let me preview up the document which we are going to code today. I'm gonna tell you about Scrollspy Bootstrap. What this Scrollspy Bootstrap is? Well, Scrollspy lets you update the links on the navigation bar when you scroll your page. See, I really don't have to click on the About Me page to navigate there. Simply look at this navigation bar. Right now I'm on the home page. When I will scroll more, About Me tab is selected. And even when I will scroll more, see here I'm on the subjects page. Inside that HTML CSS page is there. Even when I will scroll more, I'm on the Bootstrap page inside subjects. Same way when I will scroll more, I'm on the contact page. So it's really a fun. Simply when I scroll, I'm navigating this navigation bar. And see, this is the inverse class has been applied to this navigation bar. When I will change this inverse class to default, let's save it up. Let's refresh. See, this navigation bar is in the default color given by the Bootstrap. And more than this inverse and default class, you can easily change the color of navigation bar by applying themes to this document. I have already done a video on it. See, here is my channel. In the playlist tab, you will find this playlist Web Development with Bootstrap. Inside this, when you will watch this video, applying themes in web pages get new look and feel. You can easily change the color of this navigation bar and the other elements on your web page related to Bootstrap. Now, obviously with the CSS, I have full control on this colors of navigation bar. See, just with a little change here in my CSS, here on the line number 20, now I'm saying to all the active elements in the navigation bar have the background color as gold and text color as crimson. So let's save it up and let's refresh. Again, I'm having inverse class. You can see here navbar inverse, and you see the active item home is in golden color and the color of this text home or link is in crimson color. And obviously this is a responsive navigation bar coded in Bootstrap. So when I will collapse my browser's window, you see I have small button here instead of the complete navigation bar. And when I will click here, still this Scrollspy works very well. So let's get started. Now here I am with basic setup for this document. You can see here I have linked up all the necessary files in the head section of this document. This is the latest compiled and minified jQuery version. This is the latest compiled and minified CSS for Bootstrap. This is the optional theme, and this is the latest compiled and minified JavaScript. All these Bootstrap files you can easily get from the official website getbootstrap.com. Inside the Getting Started tab, you'll find this CDN. You can also download these files, but right now I'm using CDN, and you can easily get this jQuery minified file from jQuery.com. Now before proceeding, I need to have some internal style rule in my document. So in the head section, I'm having style tag. The rule I want to have is to my body of document, I'm saying position as relative, which is the required. And you see I have a padding top 30 pixels because to prevent content to go underneath the fixed navbar, else your content will be cropped from the top. So I'm having these two rules. Now let's proceed to code our navigation bar. Now here to the body of document, I will say a data attribute data hyphen spy is equals to scroll data hyphen target is equals to, I will choose one ID here. You can choose a different ID if you want. The ID I'm giving is my navbar. So I'm targeting my navigation bar with this ID. Now let's have a div with the ID of this my navbar. Give it a class. All the classes are pre-inbuilt in Bootstrap. Navbar hyphen default. The default color gives you the gray color of navigation bar, which I have already shown you in preview. And if I will have navbar inverse, that will give us black color. And this navigation bar is fixed from the top, so let's have a class navbar hyphen fixed top. Let's close the div. Now inside that div, let's have a div with a class of container. Again a pre-inbuilt class in Bootstrap. Now let's have a div with a class of navbar hyphen header. Let's close this header for this navigation bar. Now inside that, I will code a button. You see, when I collapse this browser's window, I have a small button instead of the complete navigation bar. And when I click on it, I have this items. So let's code this small button. So button type is equals to button. Give it a class navbar hyphen toggle. As it's a toggle behavior, when I click on it, it appears. So the class is navbar hyphen toggle. Now the next attribute I want to have is data hyphen toggle is equals to collapse. So when we are collapsing our navigation bar, it appears only at that time. And you see the third attribute I have is data hyphen target is equals to dot navbar hyphen collapse. So we are targeting this class which we are going to use. Data target is equals to dot navbar hyphen collapse. Now Let's close this button tag off. Now you see when we collapse our browser's window, we have 3 dash here on this button. So let's code this 3 dashes. In between this button tag, let's have a span with a class of icon hyphen bar. Let's close this span tag, copy it, paste it for 2 more times. So far we have coded this button. Now after this button, let's code the brand name. Now you see I have here the name of company. Right now I'm using my name Ritu Sachdev. That is the name of company you can mention here. So let's code this brand name. So to code this brand name, href. You can also give link to this brand name. Right now I'm using hash, but later on you can give the link to the anchor tag. Let's have a class navbar hyphen brand. Close this anchor tag off and the text you want to write in between. Right now again I'm using my name. So we are done with this navbar header. Now let's code the navigation items inside this navbar. So let's have a div with a class of navbar hyphen collapse. We are using multiple classes here, navbar hyphen collapse and collapse. Let's close this div off. You see I have told you here we are targeting our .navbar collapse, the class we are using here, and the second class is collapse. So inside that, let's have our unordered list. So with the help of ul tag, but to this ul tag I want to apply a class navbar hyphen nav. Again multiple classes here, and let's close this ul tag. Let me give little indent here to make it visible clear. Now inside this ul tags, let's have our list item. To the first item I will give a class of active, and now let's have anchor tag. Obviously this links item are also going to have link. So ahref is equals to, here we will provide an ID to our all of the navigation items. So the first ID I'm giving is #1. You can choose the different ID, but right now for the conveniency I'm giving #1 as my ID. Now home, and the text I want is home, and close that anchor tag off, close that ally tag off. Now let me copy it and paste it again. I don't want to have active class here. The second ID I'm choosing is 2, and the text I want to have is about me, about us, whatever you say. That's totally your preference what you want your navigation items to be. Now let's have our third list item, which will also have sub menu items inside it. So ally tag, again anchor tag with a class of dropdown hyphen toggle, as it will have sub items. Now data hyphen toggle is equals to drop down. Let's close this anchor tag off. Let's close this ally tag off. Now the text I want to have is subjects. Now you see we have a drop down arrow after this subjects, and when I click on this subjects tab I have this sub items. So let's go to this drop down arrow first. So after this text subjects I will have span tag with a class of caret. Let's close this span tag, and to have the sub items of the subjects, before this closing ally I will generate one unordered list again inside it. So ul tag, closing ul tag, and here ul tag with a class of drop down menu. After it let's have link items, ally tag, after that anchor tag inside it, href. This will be the next id. After 2 I want to have the next id as 3. Definitely, as I said, you can choose your id which you prefer. So right now I'm going for 3. Let's close this anchor tag completely, and let's close this ally tag too. In between let me have the text html css. So that will be the text on which we have this id as a link. Now let me copy it again, paste it. The next id I will call it as 4. Subject, inside I will call it as Bootstrap. Let me get rid of this extra space. Now the next item completely on this navigation bar I want to have is contact. So after this ul tag, closing of this ul tag and closing of this ally tag for subject, I will have this next list item before this closing of main ul 5 as my id for this, and I will call it as contact. Let's get rid of this extra space. So far we are done with the navigation coding. Let's save it up. Let's see the browser preview so far. Okay, here we go. So this is the original navigation bar, and this is the what we are doing. You can see the color is default right now because of this class navbar default. I can make it inverse. Let's save it up. Refresh. You see the black color is there, and for the subjects when I click on it I have this drop down list. Right now active class is on the list item home, so that is why it is highlighted. You can see here ally class active. Simply when I will shift this class to this tab subjects, I will have only this subjects as highlighted. So when you are creating that particular page, you have to shift this active class there. Now to make this Scrollspy working, definitely we need to have some content on this document. So let's proceed to have content there. Here I'm on my code editor again. After this closing of this div id my navbar, and before the closing of this body tag, we will have our content here. Simply I am having div with a class of container fluid. Style is equals to background color, light coral. See, this container fluid will take the whole width of this body. Inside that container fluid, we will have our content for this ID1, the home, which we have here. And you see this background color I have given because just to differentiate all of the pages from rest of other. Else it's not super important. So inside that container fluid, simply I will have div with the ID is equals to 1, as I said, which refers to our home page. Now inside this one we will have some dummy content. But first let me have something in H1 text. That's the title for my page, just to differentiate this page from the rest of other. And let us know that we are on the home page. So rest I'm pasting some dummy content here. You see, before this closing of div ID 1. Now the very same way I will paste the content for all of these 5 pages respective with their IDs. So here you see I have div class container fluid again. Some background color is there. Here as I was having light coral, here I am having light blue. And the div ID 2 is there, then about me as my text and some content. Likewise for the subjects inside HTML CSS div ID is 3, some background color is there, and you see same for the this 4th ID inside subjects, which is Bootstrap, and the background color is there, container fluid div is there. Same way we have this last item contact div ID 5 is there inside container fluid and some background color is there. Let's save it up and let's refresh our web page. Here we go. See, when I will scroll, this home page is highlighted. When I scroll more, we are on the about me page. When I scroll more, I'm inside subjects. You see, on HTML CSS. When I scroll more, I'm on the Bootstrap page. And when I scroll more, I'm on the contact page. And when I will collapse my browser's window, instead of complete navigation bar, I have this small button. And when I will click on it, I have my navigation bar. And when I scroll my page, this Scrollspy works same.
So this is done, friends, and if you like this video of mine, do thumb it up. Do not forget to subscribe me, and if you want to learn these subjects directly from me, do contact me. Have a good day. Bye bye.